Picking a car or campervan rental company for your road trip in New Zealand is a huge deal. This will determine both your spare budget for fun activities and the experience as a whole. So instead of picking the first or cheapest car rental company that you find, you need to do a car rental comparison. With that in mind, here's how to compare car and campervan rental companies in New Zealand.
Hey guys, we're Robin and Laura, the team behind BACKPACKERGUIDE.NZ, helping you plan an epic trip to New Zealand.
In this video, we're on a mission to help you plan a stress-free road trip in New Zealand. We'll show you 5 things to compare when choosing a New Zealand car or campervan rental company.
Comparing vehicle rental companies in New Zealand is much more than just comparing the base price. With differences in inclusion, exclusion, vehicle quality and fuel efficiencies, there is often much more than what meets the eye when choosing a car and campervan rental company. With a bit of comparison research, you can avoid the vehicles that are often prone to breaking down or those companies with a very bad customer service.
But before we jump into the video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and even hit that little bell icon so you can get notifications every time we release a new New Zealand travel tips video. Plus, you'll even be able to join us for one of our live Q&A sessions, which are really awesome.
And with that, let's get on with the tips to help you start planning a stress-free road trip in beautiful New Zealand.
First tip, compare by location.
Yes, the first criteria of your car or campervan rental comparisons are the location of the rental depot. When booking a car or campervan rental for your road trip in New Zealand, you are likely to already have a plan of where you want to start and where you want to finish your trip. That way, you not only know to look for car rental companies that are based in Auckland or Christchurch or wherever is the most convenient location for you.
Things get a little more complicated when you want to end your trip in a different location to where you started, which is something a lot of us want to do. A good way to see both the North Island and the South Island in a limited amount of time is to fly into Auckland and fly out of Christchurch or vice versa. So in this case, not only do you want to find a car rental company with a rental depot in both cities, but preferably one that doesn't charge an expensive one-way fee. Most rental companies do charge a one-way fee, but there are actually some companies that waive the fee altogether. It's one of the inclusions that we make sure to mention in our car and campervan rental comparison articles on BACKPACKERGUIDE.NZ, which are all linked up to in the description below.
Another tip for comparing the locations of car rental companies is where exactly their depot in each cities are. For example, some car rental companies might advertise as having a depot in Auckland, but that might not necessarily mean the Auckland airport. You want to make sure that you are able to access a depot easily. For a depot located near any New Zealand airport, however, be aware that there might be an extra fee charged for you to pick up your car in a premium location. So if you can pick up a vehicle in the city depot rather than the airport, that could be a good way to save a bit of cash.
And a final note about locations, it would also be wise to book a rental from a company that has a couple of extra locations countrywide. Should something happen to your vehicle, you can make your way to the nearest depot to pick up another replacement one.
Our second comparison tips for you guys is to compare prices and inclusions.
The price is likely to be the main factor in your decision making. However, remember that a deal too good to be true probably, well, you know.
The main thing to remember when comparing prices is to do so including all the extras that car rental companies may charge, like the administration fees, insurance fees, one-way fees, extra driver's fees, young driver's fees, cleaning fees, credit card fees and possibly more. Some companies may include some of those costs into their upfront price, some will simply add extra charges throughout the booking process, resulting in a price much higher than expected. So that means that although it's a little bit of a pain, you need to go through the whole booking process with each car rental company to get a full quote. But don't worry, you can easily do this on New Zealand car rental websites and you can find all this information out before you pay.
To really understand if a car rental is good value for money, you should also compare the inclusions such as airport transfer, included extra drivers, included one-way fee, included road user charge, which is the diesel tax in New Zealand, included bedding if you're renting a camper van, and whatever else. all those little costs add up and it results in big savings at the end of your trip.
For more information on typical inclusions and extra costs, check out How Much Does It Cost to Rent a Car in New Zealand, which is linked up in the description below. Plus, check out the video linked up in the card and in the descriptions, giving you 21 tips to save money on car rental in New Zealand.
Your next comparison should be the vehicles offered.
Surprisingly enough, this is the main item on the list that many of us overlook. Blinded by the quest to find the best price, a lot of us forget to look at the year and make of the vehicle. This will have a huge impact on the overall cost of your trip, as gas prices are quite high in New Zealand, and the difference could be up to 40% for vehicle with a 5 to 7 years age difference. So try to pick a vehicle that is as new as your budget will allow.
We also recommend you sit down and evaluate your needs when renting a car or camper van, as the smaller the vehicle, the cheaper and generally more fuel efficient your vehicle will be. These two factors are the biggest costs of a road trip in New Zealand, so should be taken seriously. We have a few tips about choosing vehicles in our guide to renting a car video linked up in the cards and in the description, as well as our guide to renting a camper van video linked up as well to help you choose the right camper van.
The fourth thing to compare should be the customer service.
Customer service does not usually strike people as the most important thing when looking for a bargain online. However, it would be a big mistake to overlook it. Should something happen to your car or camper van, you will want a solution to be found quickly and efficiently.
Yes, more than money, your time matters. Let's be honest, you're taking the trip of a lifetime and will probably not have the chance to come back all the way to New Zealand again. You've got to make every single day count and cannot waste a couple of them waiting to solve car issues.
The best way to evaluate the effectiveness of a car or campervan rental team is to send them a bunch of questions by email prior to your booking. First, it will help you clean out a few of the details that you may need confirmation about. Second, it will help you evaluate the response, speed and thoroughness. This is a great way to know that customer care really cares. Finally, compare reviews and ratings.
Every car and campervan company boasts customer service awards and great customer satisfaction on their website. Honestly, most of them are actually great, but it will pay off to double check real users' rating and reviews online. A simple online search of a company name should pop up a few ratings and reviews websites with insights from verified customers.
When doing so, take the 2 good reviews and the 2 bad reviews with a grain of salt. It is important to focus on reading reviews that appear genuine to get a real picture of the company.
Another great way to check up on the company is to ask on Backpacking New Zealand Facebook groups for feedback from people that have used such and such company before. We link up to a few of the really good Facebook groups below, as it's a great way to start a discussion with people that have been in your shoes.
So that's all the main things you should be comparing when choosing a New Zealand car or campervan rental company. But there's one last tip we want to share with you.
That's right. Of course, you're probably wondering, what about comparison websites?
Car rental comparison websites are a great tool to check the average prices across several car rental companies during the season that you plan to visit New Zealand. However, the issue with comparison websites is that they only show you the rental companies that pay them commission. So it's best to extend your search outside of the comparison websites where you might find a better deal. Another issue is that comparison websites often only focus on comparing prices, which, as we've learned in this video, isn't the only thing you want to compare.
So use comparison websites to get a feel for what is out there, but you can usually get a better deal by booking directly with the company anyway.
That's it! We hope that this video has been super helpful, but as always, if you do have any questions, make sure to stick them in the comments below and we will answer them for you. Plus, we release new videos about New Zealand several times a week with live Q&As and travel tip videos just like this one. So make sure to hit the subscribe button to be part of our notification squad.
Thank you for watching, and obviously keep traveling awesome!